it's kind of fair to say that we go way back, as in like a few months back, right?
For sure. I'm not sure how many actually, maybe 6 months.
Yeah. But basically, like the reason why I was quite literally and just like quite excited to have you on is because like you have like one of the craziest uh collections within DeGods, right? You've been in DeGods for like a longer time. To anyone who is not aware of you or your collection, like it's if it's all right with you, I'm just gonna bring up your collection and people will see for
Sure.
themselves. I mean,
Well, I'm glad I spent a bit of time rearranging how it was going to look the other day, actually.
yeah, I mean, like, tell me about what we're seeing here.
All right. So, well, if you don't mind, I wouldn't mind telling a little bit of an origin story. And that is, there was one day where I was bored and I had a lump sum of money and I didn't know what to do with it. And I liked what DeGods was doing. So I just decided to throw it all into DeGods, right? It was like 100% all in. And I kind of got into the Discord and I said, hey, there's a Medusa there on, I think it was Alpha Art, which was the old exchange that people used to use, or one of the exchanges that people used to use at that time. I think DeGods may uh, only have been listed on that exchange at the time, actually, before Magic Eden listed DeGods. And yeah, I just decided that I would buy a Medusa, and it was pretty steep price. And then I just decided I'd buy a mythic helmet while I was at it, and sweep the floor. And so that's really what got me started. And yeah, the whole tracksuit thing though, that was kind of a fluke. In fact, I didn't even really like tracksuit traits at first, but the fact was that my Medusa had a tracksuit. And
Okay.
I kept getting these offers from people like, I don't know, to buy mythic helmet or swap mythic helmets, that sort of thing. And I think I ended up doing a trade with someone where they wanted my mythic helmet and I wanted theirs, and because theirs was the tracksuit one with the supernova background, so it kind of spawned from there, I guess. I got this idea that wouldn't it be fun just to collect a trait that wasn't really a popular one. I mean, officially rare according to the rarity levels, but people certainly weren't seeking it out. So I thought, oh well, this can be something that I can work towards. So yeah, that's how I got started on it, really.
I mean, I've kind of feels to me it's fair to say that you kind of slipped over banana peel and like started like collecting tracksuits, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, like the interesting thing though is like it might not really be a highly sought after trade, if you will, but they're not quite as easy like to get by, right? Like it kind of like your story kind of reminds me of right now we're seeing like a movement within like Pokemon cards to where there's one guy buying all of the Kabutos, like the first edition Kabuto, and like it's somewhat of like an older card.
Yeah.
And basically he collects like, are you aware of him?
No, I'm not aware of it. No.
I mean, like it's quite like a funny story to where like the guy started collecting quite a quote unquote insignificant card. And right now, I mean, like I believe like the floor price is up by like 10x, and especially compared to like other similar cards, it's like up by a long shot. So I don't know, like people are going to collect things, and based on that, like a movement is happening, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a bit like the silk robes also, because I mean, you probably know this, but the previous iteration of the silk robe, as in the second iteration of it, it wasn't very popular at all. People didn't really like it. I thought it was quite clever to, make the jacket out of silkworms, I think it was. But
Mhm.
I think aesthetically, overall, it was a bit of a disappointment from the season one silk robe. Yeah, silkworms. Yeah, that's it. And
Yeah.
season one was it was quite nice, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so, but nevertheless, it's a super rare trait. So I just thought, no one. This is a trait no one wants, no one really likes, and I picked up, quite a few of them at floor. And people would used
Really?
to offer trades, or they still do, of course. I'll trade you a floor plus a soul or whatever. And yeah, they were giving away silk robes for like for the floor basically. And I didn't mind because I thought this is a super rare trait. I'm just going to keep buying silk robes. I ended up with about 10 or 12 of them at one point. But yeah, I mean, they're much more popular now with the tux and also with the badges that with the
Oh yeah.
DeGods badges. The silk robe's quite hard to obtain. I think the floor price on them now is at least 2x the floor, or it's around that price anyway. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I sold one myself, I believe, like a month or two ago, and like it went for pretty much like two, maybe 3x, but more so on like the 2x side, I believe.
yeah. Well, it's pretty classy now, isn't it? As it should be, really.
Yeah, I mean, like I think it's one of the most recognizable traits within the gods, right?
Yeah, yeah. So then I started looking up what some of the rarer silk robes were, and I came to the realization that there were 6 gold skin ones, and so I thought if I could slowly get some of the gold skin ones, they look quite nice. I love the gold skin. I know you did a video on non-mythic skins recently, and gold was close to the top of your tier list, right?
Yeah. What do you think of
So
that? Like, would you like agree with that rank order?
yeah, I mean, yeah, I pretty much agree with most of it. Um, yeah, I certainly think the gold skin should be up there at the very top of the non-mythic skins. I just think aesthetically, it looks the best of the non-mythic skins. That's my opinion, anyway. Yeah,
And that's the cool part about art, right? You can
yeah,
have that opinion. Another, like I've encountered someone within the DGOTS community, and I will not name shame him, but like he was basically hating on gold skins. And
yeah.
that's
Well,
not my
yeah.
opinion, but like to each their own,
As,
right?
exactly. As you say, I mean, apes used to be floor as well. Ape was a floor skin, and nobody really was going out of their way to collect them. And then at some point, it gained traction, and yeah, look at them now. I never
Yeah.
really liked it originally, the ape skin actually, but yeah, that's really grown on me.
I mean, the I do kind of feel like they look good. I'm not going to lie,
Yeah,
but let's maybe like I just wanna like I'm a nerd for like these kind of things, right? The
absolutely.
let's go for apes, and I think there's a radio listed. I had like a discussion the other day. with someone, and I told them basically like, hey, like I can either get like, because I don't like this ape, I just don't.
Yeah,
Again,
fair enough.
subjective, right?
Yeah,
Let's say this is a cool ape skin, like I think like this one looks fairly good.
yeah,
And then you have like a mythic skin, right? For pretty much like the same price, other than like one
yeah,
salon extra.
yeah,
And I told like the chat, like, hey, um, if it's up to me, I would way rather have like this mythic radio skin for like the same price as a mid-tier ape. And basically like the comeback was like, well, like, would you like it other than it being green? And I was like, are you kidding me? Of course not. But like that's the point. Like, would you like this if like it had like a different background, a different skin, a different like clothing? Like that's kind of what adds up to like the entirety of the NFT.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I'd rather go for the radio of those three for that reason as well. I mean, it just gotta love the radio skin, don't you?
It's a good one. It's a good one. But you know what? Like since we're here anyways, maybe let's dig through like the clothes, like the tracksuit. I mean like the tracksuit being listed at like two and a half
Hey,
X floor price.
triple the floor? No, what's the yeah, although, hey, look, I'll give you the heads up. I went on to Flooring Protocol today. Have you ever been on fp.io? It's
Yeah,
they're all on ETH, and I thought
true.
this tracksuit price is ridiculous. 12 and a half sol for a floor tracksuit. So anyway,
Yeah,
I went on to Flooring Protocol and I found about 20 of them for, I mean, the price on there is a little bit above the floor actually. To convert it to sol, you're paying a bit more, but
sure.
anyway, it's a good place to potentially look further afield, I suppose, for people who don't mind doing the conversion to ETH to sol and back, that sort of thing.
There's one
Uh,
word of caution though, and that
yeah.
is that I believe that Free Lunch Capital doesn't own Floor Protocol anymore.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that actually. I mean, I don't actually know the story there anymore, so I was I was going to say, yeah, I haven't tested it out. I don't know if it's still a safe site or not. So yeah, but in any event, there's certainly a lot more NFTs on there, and it has been sort of mined out for rarer, close to the floor, rarer traits and that sort of thing. But I'm not
True.
sure how recently actually. So yeah, I'm not promoting the site necessarily. I just found it interesting to go and have a look and see what the floor was like over there. I mean, actually, I haven't really looked at the prices on ETH in a very long time prior to that, actually. Could have been 6 or 12 months. So, yeah,
Well,
I just like Sol.
yeah. I mean, like Solana is a lot more liquid. I do kind of feel that. I mean, we can just like go on the Magic Eden side. There you go. I don't think it's kind of like the same or worse regarding. I mean, like the liquidity is not the same, but like prices are like either the same or worse, or it might be to where some people, some like dormant wallets would list them because they just don't feel like bridging them.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that's fair enough. I mean, not everyone wants that complication, especially if it's been a long time since they have done it and they can't remember where to find the instructions. And I don't know, maybe they don't want to ask in Discord because, I don't know, who knows, they might feel embarrassed or something, or they just want to do it more in a hurry. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, Jules, maybe like it might be like a right time to like pivot like a little bit to, because like you've been here around for like you've seen like the highs and the lows, right? And you're still here. Like, what are
Yeah.
your experiences?
Oh, it's been a wild ride, that's for sure. A wild ride. Look, I've had many, I suppose. One of my highlights was when I got mentioned on DeGodcast back in the day. Not sure if you're familiar with DeGodcast. It was a YouTube program, was weekly for, I don't know, maybe, I think they did 30 something, might have been 33 episodes, and yeah, that was one of my highlights. But I don't know, just the stories, I suppose. And like we were talking the other day, the interesting stories about particular NFTs, so the provenance of them, that sort of thing. So actually, if you scroll down a little bit on screen there's a tracksuit, that one just to the right, to the right of that one. So to the right of the Joker. Now that is probably to you the most innocuous looking of my collection there, but actually I think it's the cleanest. And anyway, the problem with being in this space for too long and coming across so many unusual usernames and that sort of thing is that sometimes I forget the names of people, right? So
Sure.
some listener might remember, but the owner of that NFT was the chief sort of guy, not the owner or anything, but I don't know, public relations or project officer or whatever at Magic Eden. Can't remember his name. He's not there anymore. But, so that was a very high profile Magic Eden employee who was liaising with NFT communities on a daily basis at the peak of NFT mania. That was his PFP. And
Nice.
funnily enough, he actually approached me at some point after I'd obtained it, trying to get it back, and I knocked him back. I just thought it was too nice and clean, and it had a backstory. So I'll have to
I
remember
mean,
his name because I feel bad now.
I mean, like that's
He's
like
gone into
the.
obscurity now, so yeah.
I mean, I think Jules, like part like if you're highlighting like the art you're owning, right? This is kind of what makes it so much more than just a clean floor-ish kind of tracksuit NFT, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
At the end of the
exactly.
day.
And also, with trading, of course, how there are trends, right? When I first started trading, when I discovered the buy sell trade channel, and I just said interested in trades or whatever, and I did a screenshot of what I owned. I had about, I don't know, 100 DMs within the space of about 2 hours. And I just thought, what the hell is going on? And all these people wanted to trade me for, it was Hawaiian shirts at the time. There was like a bit of a trend or a short lived fad perhaps on Hawaiian shirts, and everyone was paying extra for Hawaiian shirts. And because I was a complete noob in buy, sell, trade, I was just giving them away for the tiniest margin or above a floor. And then people would be in the BST channel just ridiculing me, like, going, who's the idiot who gave that away so cheaply, and that sort of thing. But likewise, there was a bit of a run on this sort of a clean DeGod, where it doesn't have anything protruding from its head, doesn't have any arrows, doesn't have anything in its mouth. So it's just that super sleek, clean style. And that was also something that people quite liked and was trending for a while there also. So it is quite interesting to see the trends come and go, even within the micro society of the buy sell trade channel, I guess.
No, for sure. it's like we have like those trends like still alive and kicking, right? I think like it's safe to say that whoever is in like the community right here right now, uh most of them, they value apes a lot. um
Yeah,
right, at the same time, I mean, like, this might be crazy, but like I've literally bought myself mythic wings for like the same price as an ape. You
yeah,
cannot, like, isn't that just like, historically
yeah,
speaking, that's quite nuts, right?
yeah. I suppose people regarded the mythic wings as the least attractive of the mythic traits, or along with a couple of others like the goatee or the smoke ring, those sorts of ones where I don't know, I'm just generalizing, but I suppose there's mythic traits that are much more highly sought after than other mythic traits, aren't there? So, yeah, the
I
wings
think,
didn't get enough love. I don't know.
well, I think like it also has to do with like liquidity being dried up right now, right? So like
Yeah,
um when you have just like less liquidity in general, and most of like the liquidity there is fixated on, let's say, ape skins, for example, like it's
yeah,
so small, it's so niche, like the volume is rather low. I do kind of feel that whenever more people would like enter the ecosystem, you'd get more of a balanced kind of opinion there.
yeah, yeah, that's probable for sure. And you might get some other people who want to start their own trends as well, like is it J Cells who has quite a few Hawaiian shirts? Can't remember, might have the wrong name, but
He does.
you
He
know,
does. Like
yeah,
I'm rather sure that JCell will also like get into like this oh, whatever you want to call it, stream, podcast, whatever. We're doing it all.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
like
he
I
could
think
tell
it's
his Hawaiian story. Hawaiian shirt story, I don't know.
I mean, maybe he also slipped over banana peel, and before he knew it, he basically bought them all.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I do think so because recently he made a comment somewhere, not sure whereabouts, but it was, yeah, basically. I'm not really sure how I ended up on this Hawaiian shirt kick, but yeah, I don't think it was something that he originally deliberately set out to do, actually. Yeah, it's funny like that.
I mean,
I
like at
mean,
some
actually,
time.
just no, sorry, you go, it's fine.
Oh, no, no, no. Like I just wanted to like enable you, really.
Well, another thing that I was reminded of was there was a trader of bored apes. He held quite a few of them, like, I don't know, 50 plus bored apes. Can't remember his name again. Been in the space too
Uh,
long, heard too many names. And
I think I know
he
him.
used to trade for minuscule profits, and he'd always tweet about it and brag about it. Oh, I bought this for point. Oh, I don't know. Say he made a profit of 0.02 ETH or something like that. He'd still post about it. And anyway, he came out with a post one day, which was it was about pink hair. It was about the bored apes that had a, I don't know, pink stripe in their hair or just the pink hair. And in his post, he showed all the pink haired ones that he owned, and he said he owned something like, I don't know, 10% of all of the pink haired bored apes in the whole collection. And that was at around the time that I was starting to collect tracksuits. And to me, not that I really needed it because I don't really need external validation from random strangers on the internet, but it did to me validate my thesis that, you know what, this is an okay thing to do. To just focus on one trait, slowly, methodically, and build a collection, I suppose, rather than that short-term flip mentality, which I've never really been in it for, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, and I can disappear from the Discord chat for months at a time, and I mean, I'll still look at announcements, or if anyone tags me, I'll still be there. But yeah, I just have that longer term mindset. I don't have to be there all the time, I suppose. Oh yeah,
I
there's the
think that
Mickey. Now,
makes
there's
sense.
by the way, there's only two tracksuits with Mickey DeGods hat visor, and I do know who the other one is, and I hope he's not listening. But yeah, I do have designs on making an offer on. It's not for sale, but yeah, he's a Twitter follower. You know what I mean? I follow him on Twitter and vice versa. So
Nice.
I've got the means to potentially try to make an offer on it at some point.
Well, I do think like this one looks exceptional, especially with like the porn mustache and like the Mickey's, right? Like I'm just like a sucker for this kind of art. Really
And the
blends
X-ray
really well together.
skin too. The X-ray's good too.
I'll tell you this much, Jules. Like, if I were to be a betting man, which I kind of am, I would bet that X-ray skins are vastly undervalued to
Yeah,
where they should be.
yeah, yeah. I agree. They're very nice. And what's it say? They are rare, technically speaking, aren't they?
I mean,
Yeah,
just look at this though. Like this is
yeah,
actually where like the season 3
yeah.
shines like quite nicely, right?
I agree. The tracksuits got a real glow up with season three. They're quite
Oh,
striking, and quite often when you troll through Magic Eden or whatever, looking at the D gods, the tracksuit now does kind of jump out at you just for that extra splash of color. So yeah, especially with the season three art, it really is that nice bright red. Yeah, I like it. I probably do prefer the season three for this particular NFT of the three
yeah.
versions, because I'm not that big of a fan of the, what's it called, coming out of his head.
It's basically the Ethereum logo, right? What's it called? Forehead
Oh
diamond.
yeah, diamond. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not terrible. I don't mind it, but I like the cleanness of the season three edition of this one. Yeah, yeah,
Let's maybe go to like one of your I mean like this is like a piece like which will have like people salivating about, right?
yeah. Season three is pretty good for this one too, actually.
Yeah.
One of only three. Well, I shouldn't say only three, because tracksuits having three Dylans is actually quite a lot, really. But as far as I know, the other two are held by Soul Big Brain, I think, has one of them, and Pokey Panda, if he still has the Supernova one. I mean, I don't think Soul Big Brain has ever traded any of his D gods, and he owns quite a lot of them. And I've even back in the day tried DMing to try and free up the tracksuit Dylan that he has, but never got a reply. And
Mm.
I'm pretty sure I was tracking wallets back in those days. I'm pretty sure he's the holder of the one that's never been traded, basically. Yeah. So good luck
Oh
to whoever's trying to prize it out of his hands. Yeah.
man, I mean like tracking the wallets, especially like during the bear market, it's not that hard. I believe like there are not too many people doing it, but could you maybe like elaborate a little bit on what's it like being within like a booming NFT community during the bear market, which we're in like still now, right? Like we might be finding a bottom, um, but we're not there yet. Compared to like
Yeah.
what it's like to get your like favorite pieces of art during like a bull market.
Well, it's funny with the NFT market, actually, because I found during the last bear market that that was the time when NFTs were at their height, because Oh, well, I don't know why. I suppose it was before the meme coin mania, and you know how people tend to, for whatever reason, perhaps measure the value of the NFT in US dollar terms rather than in the native blockchain currency. So, you know, maybe we're finding that there's been a bit of a bump in NFT prices recently because Solana's down so low in price. So people are thinking, oh, well, it's only, I don't know, a few $100 to get a DeGod. Whereas, back in the height of DeGods, when we were trading for 1,000 Sol per DeGod, Sol was, around $20. So
Yeah.
it was interesting that, and I still think it, to some extent, that does happen, that when Sol pumps, you do find that people will sell off NFTs, whereas when Sol declines in US dollar value, people will start buying them again. So actually, my experience was that the very peak NFT season with DeGods and a lot of the others was during that bear market time. And I suppose also it was a great distraction from, oh, well, our net worth's crashing, mega crash, but at least we've got NFTs to have fun with. It
True.
was actually kind of quite a solace, really, that the NFT communities were thriving and alive and well during such dire bear market times. So that was my experience, that it was actually the peak time. Unless I'm misremembering, but that's what
I
my
think you're right.
yeah.
I mean, like personally, I only joined when and everything went down, really. So, but like maybe specifically, I mean, like if NFTs were bullish at a certain time, right? What was it
Yeah.
like to basically buy, sell, and trade versus right here, right now, when sellers are still very much in control, right? Like there's no
Mm.
shortage on supply. Like you'll be able to get whatever you want.
Yeah. Oh, look, obviously it was vastly different because it was just so alive. Everyone was posting about them. People who were in your community, you knew who they all were, as in you follow all of them, you'd like their tweets, they'd be in Discord all the time. There was all these myriad Twitter group chats, and they're still there, but the activity in them substantially reduced. So, I mean, certainly it's very different now, and it's just quieter, I guess. But on the other hand, it's still fun and it's still a
True.
great hobby. And whether you consider it a hobby or an investment or both, I mean, the enjoyment's still there. And
For sure.
I just, I do wonder to what extent OGs who are still holders will come back, or if and when they will, as in what will be the catalyst to bring them back, or is it like a lot of things for a lot of people that they have a real great enthusiasm and interest in something for short periods and they don't necessarily sustain that interest? I don't know. But for me, it's just an interest that endures and that I just enjoy collecting. I don't really collect anything else. So
No, I hear you. I do
yeah,
kind of feel like so basically I do think that we've already seen the catalyst for like people to come back, and that's basically that we capitulated twice, right? I think like NFTs, they capitulated against their current native currency. That's
yeah,
one. Like they
definitely.
capitulated for
Yeah,
like 2 to 3 years, and afterwards, like I do kind of feel with well the entirety of like the cryptocurrency market, like crashing a few weeks ago. Like we crashed twice, right? So like anyone who ever been into NFTs, um, if you liked DeGods at 20,000, you will love them at 400, right? And I think like that's going to be
Exactly.
like the catalyst, really.
Yeah.
What you often see in like collectibles markets is that they jump from one to the other, right? Like a lot of the NFT bros, if you will, went from
Yeah, for
NFTs
sure.
to sneakers to Pokemon cards. And I mean, like if you're looking at Pokemon cards, right? Like fundamentally speaking, I think like we're closer to a top than a bottom, right? Like we see
Yeah.
like off the top indicators with like the commercial during halftime with like Logan Paul having like its records sale, like it's going to be
Yeah.
today
Yeah.
slash tomorrow, depending on whatever time you're at. I would not be
Mm.
surprised if like that's a lot of heads who basically have like been in touch with NFTs who might just come back for like this reason.
Yeah. Well, also, I think the longevity of certain NFT communities does indicate that there is a market. I mean, there obviously is a market, but like volume's still reasonable. Long-term community members, it demonstrates there's a demand for things, a desire to buy this or that within the NFT space. And so, yeah, I suppose that I just would like uh, the people to come flooding back, and hopefully they will. I'll be here, that's for sure, and so will quite a lot of us, I think. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, there is a market for it, and yeah, I've read quite widely amongst other NFT enthusiasts, different ideas they have about the value in them and the value moving forward in them, and yeah, I'm choosing to agree with them basically. Yeah,
I mean, in that sense, you're definitely preaching to the choir. I think like we basically talked about this just before we went live, right? But there are so many advantages to NFT over physical collectibles. Earlier, I raised the points of like these things do not need like to be created by PSA. They will not deteriorate over time, and you can basically collect. Um, I mean, like you can basically interact with like anyone in the world, but you also basically raised the point of like the negotiation might be like somewhat confrontational. You don't need to go there with NFTs, right?
that's right. Yeah, so I mean, there are people who are not very good at negotiating, and obviously there are people who are expert at it. And I suppose there are even people, because of their expertise in it, they are buyers for people. So you hear of people who are expert in, I don't know, buying real estate for their clients, for example, because I don't know, they're not very good at negotiating the price or closing out a deal. And yes, I think that that's one thing that I do like about the NFT space is that you can just put in a bid on an NFT, uh, and you can wait, and or someone might make a bid on yours, and you don't feel intimidated if they keep making more and more bids. It's very easy to choose to either ignore it or accept it or lower your price and meet somewhere in between, but you don't even necessarily at all have to have any of that human contact. So you can do it quite anonymously. You can do it without any distraction, I suppose. Yeah. I like that. I do like that feature of it for sure. So yeah, I mean that doesn't mean I don't get a few people in my DMs hassling me about selling my Dylan for 20 sol or whatever, but
Yeah, I mean, like I might have been like in your DMs like a few months ago before like we even ever were in touch. Like there's some like people who I would consider friends who I definitely started out with like that. For example, just bluish, like the one I
Yeah.
co-host like these spaces with. Like occasionally, I try to get like his like a year or so ago.
What did you try to get? The divine robe.
Yeah, the
Dylan.
Divine Ropes, Dylan.
Yeah, good luck with
But
that.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? Like anything has its price, and you cannot blame someone for trying, right?
Well, that's true. That's true. I suppose on that point, though, I mean, speaking to my own point, you could argue that actually, being part of the Discord community, if you are, no good at trading or you don't want to be hassled, I suppose people
Yeah,
turn off their DMs, don't they? You can't befriend people
yeah.
necessarily. You can easily enough ignore that, I suppose.
I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, I think like most people just like don't really care at this point,
yeah,
right? Because like if I mean, like I've sent hundreds of DMs, and that's kind of how I like started to get my own portfolio. Um, and 10 times they won't reply, or they're just not interested. I
yeah,
think like I mean like
that's true.
if you just bought yourself like a really good DGOT, or let's say just like a floor DGOT at like 20K, if you held all the way to $400, you might as well keep it, right? I think like a lot of people think that
Exactly.
way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, I got a question for you then. It's it's not really philosophically about NFTs. It's just that what other projects you're looking at the moment?
Uh, Within NFTs.
Yeah, yeah, within NFTs, but I just mean it's not. Yeah.
I
What
mean,
else?
I there are like quite a few I like, and I mean, like we should probably talk about this one a little bit. Famous Foxes, right?
Yeah, well,
Um,
I did make a tweet about my growing collection of foxes actually earlier today.
how many you got?
Uh, I've got over 50 FFF and over 100 TFF now. It's a
Oh,
bit of an addiction.
I mean, but like Jules, like when did you buy most? Because like you must, were you the one who basically caused like this price increase, or?
Maybe. Certainly I was. Well, no, I mean, no. Let's just say I helped thin out the the listings. But I did it quite slowly over 6 months or so.
I,
Like at one point I put in. You know how people put in collection offers. I mean, I just put in a collection offer under the floor of. I had 20, as in enough to buy 20 of them,
yeah,
and people just kept selling them to me, and this was at around 2 Sol or something like that.
that's crazy.
So, I mean, that was a price at which I was happy to buy them. I certainly didn't expect my orders to all get filled, but yeah, they did. Um, and
I mean,
oh yeah, the thing about foxes, as you probably know, is the biggest trading day is today, as in Sunday. So that's because they're all locked up for a week. All the foxes that go on missions,
yeah,
they are essentially locked for the week, and there's a 24-hour window where the mission ends and prior to the new mission commencing. So that's basically market day. What you'll notice tomorrow, I expect. See how many listings there are there? 238, is it?
yeah,
What you'll probably find by tomorrow or the next day is that those listings will go down to about, I don't know, sub 220 anyway. Like they might even be close to 200 this week. They're getting smaller and smaller. But you do find that on Sundays, that there's a hell of a lot more listings because that's the trade window for a lot of people. So if you ever want to buy FFFs or TFFs, yeah, you're better off buying on a Sunday for two reasons. Firstly, there's just more on offer. So a lot of the good ones that get locked up all week, you'll never see them through the week because they're on a mission. There's just more
Yeah.
good ones for sale for good prices. And yeah, secondly, because people only have a 24-hour window, they sometimes will, bash down the floor a little bit on a Sunday as well because they're in more of a hurry to offload something before the new mission window closes. So anyway, that's a pro tip for anyone who's interested in buying a fox. And, and I know
Well,
that, see on the side there, I know that in one of your recent videos you said that you weren't necessarily a fan of the art, but see on the side there, for instance, that third most recent sale, what you can do with foxes is you can upgrade them. So you can use the utility token, the Foxy token, and you can pay a certain amount and you can upgrade the art. And
oh, that's cool.
so they all start at tier 0, but all of them have access to tier 1 and 2 art. So there's at least 3 iterations of each of them. And some of the rarer ones, you can even get up to tier 3. So anyway, it was just a point to add to what you were saying about the art of FFF. So if you don't necessarily like the standard, floor level ones that you see when you first get onto Tensor or Magic Eden, well, just be aware that there is a lot more nuance to the art than might at first greet the eye, I guess. Yeah.
I mean,
So
that makes sense. I also said, like, in the same I believe, like, within like the same sentence, this is like the cutesy kind of NFTs is not really my niche to where
yeah, fair
like
enough.
just like this is my subjectivity. But I'll tell you
Yeah.
this much: if you cannot tell me that you think that basically the pudgy penguins are like the second coming of Christ and you dislike foxes, right? If you
Well,
think,
exactly.
right, like if you like pudgy penguins, I
Yeah.
kind of feel like this is kind of similar. And you know what, from a Solana user perspective, I think Foxy is like one of the best infrastructure providers for NFTs on Solana. And I don't think
Oh,
like
yeah,
eh,
definitely.
right, like I don't think there's like anything which comes like close to that
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. And, and they give back to the users as well, I think, So mission rewards they give out,
Yeah.
sometimes you might get some soul or a free NFT or whatever, There's a variety of things that people can win through the missions each week. So that's just another gamified factor to it as well, I think. And I think that's also something that I really like about some NFT projects. So I know that you've had guests on in the past who have just talked about NFTs purely being an art play. And there's been some skepticism about NFTs being linked to real world products or that sort of
Sure.
thing. But one thing that I think NFTs can and really maybe should for a lot of projects do well is have that gamification aspect, because let's face it, a lot of the people who collect NFTs have spent a lot of time on computers and probably a lot of them play games, and just having that gamified aspect can really add some additional enjoyment. I mean, even back in the day when DeGods was uh, issuing dust, when you could stake for the dust token, to me, in my mind, there's no doubt that that was a huge catalyst for DeGods having upward price momentum and interest, because it just added an element of gamification and mind share also, or it would take up a lot of your brain space thinking, what should I do? Should I sell my dust? Should I collect my dust? Should I use it to buy another one? Or, all these different strategies, I suppose, that people had. It's a bit like medievals at the moment, with the training and should you
Yeah.
or should you not burn 2 floors to keep your, what's the name of the new thing that's going to be
The
minted? I
primevals.
can't remember. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a bit of gamification, isn't it? And so it's like it gives the people who are in the community um, that choice to make, and it gets them thinking about it. Should I or should I not? What should I do? Should I stake or should I not stake? Should I just try to hock off my primeval as soon as it arrives in my wallet, or should I burn 2 floors so I can keep it permanently? Just those simple decisions that people are going to have to make is enough for, I don't know, an extra added level of interest and commitment to a project, I think. So I do think there are some relatively simple things like that NFT projects can do to sustain interest and, get people talking about them, I guess.
I think you're
That's,
completely right.
mm,
I
that's
do
my
kind of
take.
feel no, like I do kind of agree with you. I do also kind of feel that for a project like DeGods, for example, they've had like so much exposure, right? Like people have been like overly emotional on like DeGods, on Frank, right? Like they reach the minds of like many, many, many people. So I think it probably brought them to a position to where they can probably get away with just being collected for the sake of being collected, right?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
sorry,
No, I do agree that some projects are at that stage for sure.
yeah,
They don't have to remain at that stage, but yeah, some are, especially
yeah,
ones like, yeah, I mean, of course, and everyone's going to point to something like CryptoPunks, aren't they, as the, I don't know, the
yeah.
premier NFT in that category. And it's like, you know what? Doesn't need anything else. Is just the art, and that's what it is. And it has the, I don't know, it's got the OG status and all that. But yeah, and certainly some Solana projects, one would hope, would get to that level of, I don't know, prestige, if that's the word. But yeah, no, I agree that DeGods can certainly do that. But I mean, when
But
you've
to
got a
get
team,
there,
at least
yeah,
you see. I suppose well, on the other hand, doesn't Yuga now own the IP to CryptoPunks? So I suppose theoretically there's a team there also, isn't there? But yeah, I mean, for you and me, perhaps DeGods doesn't need any more than just the art and just being a collection piece and being I don't know, a prestigious NFT to hold. So yeah,
I think like especially in the beginning, you just want to make as much noise as you possibly can, right? I think Medievals is on the right path, and we'll have to see what a lot of these things and plans are going to look like in the future. But
yeah,
like right here, right now, if you're looking at and action is not like the one thing like most important, but like it does basically like share interest a little bit. I
yeah.
mean, again, like I don't want to like speculate all that much, but like I would not be surprised if we could like see something like this, right? Um,
Yeah.
or not, who
What's
knows?
that? The daily chart, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
there's There's support down there, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know what? Like, I do kind of feel that the only so it would look very clean if we would like give like retests, right? But like
Yeah,
the NFT market has been nuked down like so much.
yeah,
I mean, like minus 90% for DGOTs. Like this is quite interesting. DGOTs basically went minus 90% three times over. And
wow,
I do kind of feel when you are having like these extreme
yeah,
movements, right? You'll also get like some to balance these kind of things out. You will get like some extreme movements as well. There are like
yeah,
a few things which are very similar to NFTs as like altcoins back in 2017, and that being there's only like a few exchanges where you can get them,
yeah,
and you can only buy them in the native currency, right? So all that basically is going to make sure that there's going to be like if we would get like some kind of a NFT season, whatever, all of those people only have like three options for the exchanges, right? That Rarible, which no one uses, Tensor, and Magic Eden, which like most people use, and it's all going to be in Solana. So I would not
yeah,
be surprised if for whatever reason we would just like get like a major move up without like any like big structure of things, because like you'd only need like one. Back in the day when what are they called, Teo Robotics went
yep,
really well, the amount of um attention that brought to like the entirety of the NFT markets was like quite significant. Just
yeah,
imagine like if all of NFTs would be doing 1, 2, 3x in kind of like a not too long amount of time. Kind of, I mean, like we're already like halfway there. I mean, Foxes is already at 2x.
yeah.
Um,
I,
I
I,
could see like this going like pretty fast, pretty soon, but I don't know. Like we'll have to see, right?
yeah, I could too. I suppose, like you say, we'll just wait and see. And yeah, do you were you around when the Boryoku dragons were a thing?
No,
The
I got some
the
now though.
you do you?
Yeah, I got four.
Oh, really? That was, you see, I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure these guys came along before Teo Robotics, right? And
Okay.
they were the ones that popularized for a short period this idea that, why are we all doing 10,000 NFT collections? I know, we'll do an 1100 NFT collection and then we'll cut out 90% of the, I don't know, traitors or something. And it went to an extreme, what got to around 1,000, I thought. I don't know if you can zoom in on that, but I'm pretty sure they were over 1,000. And yeah, what's that say?
At some point they were trading at
Is that
50,
five,
yeah,
five,
50K
five?
USD.
Oh, this is in US dollars, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
wait, let
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
They started out at 20 and they to 400 something.
Oh man, you're making me want to get one now.
But you know what? Like I'll tell you this much, man. Like the interesting part, right? That what we're seeing right here, like technically, and like a lot of people dispute whether technical analysis would work on NFTs, right? Like it works on
Oh,
any other
it
asset class,
works
but
on just about anything, doesn't it?
yeah, but like some people like think like NFTs are different for whatever reason, right? But
We can
the
ignore
funny thing is,
their opinion.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
The funny thing is,
you're on the weekly time frame, so you know that's good for starters. even a
I
month.
mean,
Yeah.
even on the monthly, I think like this is as much of a bullish dragon as you're gonna get, and like the target for these things is literally this.
Yeah.
So I'm not calling
All
anything,
right.
right?
All right. Now I'm in. I'm in. Tomorrow I'm buying my first Borioki dragon. Maybe.
It's I mean, like if it's just for shits and giggles, like if you kind of feel like this
Yeah.
a collectible industry might become something at some point, this
Yeah.
might be like if you're not gonna throw some beer money at it when it's
Yeah.
minus 99.5%, then when would you, right?
Exactly. And it is a piece of Solana NFT history because, they might have been one of the NFTs that had the very highest floor price in terms of Solana for a collection. I mean,
True.
I could be wrong about that, but certainly they were up there. I'm sure they were over 1,000 Sol at one point.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
which
And so, yeah, Teo Robotics sort of came in on their footsteps is my recollection of the chronology, although as I said, I could be wrong about that.
sure.
Yeah.
Is
But
it
you know
possible
what?
that sorry, Jules, like is it
No, that's
possible that Tensor is just not old enough for it to have like the data?
Oh yeah, maybe. Go on to Magic Eden, and you might. Oh, does Magic Eden not have the charting as much as Tensor does?
It's not quite as good, but like it might still be good
Yeah,
enough.
yeah. I don't know. I have looked at their analytics before, but yeah, try it.
No, this is
No, it doesn't. It may have even
well,
been before. I'm sure there's another site, Dune Analytics, if you've ever been on Dune. But anyway, you might want to look up that when we get off our chat or something. I'll
sure.
send you a link. Yeah. All right. Well, what do you say? It's been an hour. You think we'll wrap it up?
Let's do it. I mean, first of all, like thank you so much for coming on. I had a great time, and I hope you had too.
Yeah, me too. Absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me on, and yeah, hope to do so again for sure.
All right, my man. For anyone tuning in, having tuned in, thank you so much. Like it means a lot for anyone to basically give up their time to basically tuning what I have to say, what Jules has to say, and I think that's kind of it.